Fatafa time. Ankita Saxena with me is my colleague Rabinder, and we're also going to be joined by Osho Krishan on the technicals to take you through all the stocks that are in focus either on the back of news flow or on the back of technicals. But first up, let's take stock of how the market is shaping up. What a recovery coming in the market. You know, we did see those very range-bound trade that was coming in, but the IT stocks has really lifted the sentiment today in the markets. In fact, on the Nifty, we have managed to scale this 25,750 levels. We have crossed that, and we are hovering around the day's highest point. We have recovered 162 points from the day's low on the Nifty. Nifty Bank has also posted a sharp recovery. In fact, we are up almost 600 points from the day's low on Nifty Bank. 0.4% gains coming in on Nifty Bank. The PSU banking pack is now leading from the front as the top sectoral gainer. Look at PNB, Bank of Baroda, IOB, Indian Bank, Union Bank, Bank of India, all of them are trading with gains of more than 3%. And of course, Nifty IT, that is really the sentiment booster there. 2% gain coming in on Nifty IT. We have Infosys that's surging in trade with gains of 3.2%, of course, on the back of the deal with Anthropic. We have HCL Tech that's up 2.3%, OFS, SS, 2% gains coming in, Wipro, TechM, LTI Mindtree, all trading with gains of 1.5+%. The losing side, on the losing side, we have Nifty Metal that has lost almost 1% in trade, especially Hindustan Zinc, National Aluminium, JSL. They're all trading with gains with cuts of 2+%. Market breadth looks much better now. It is clearly in the consensus of the advances. So a good recovery that we see coming in the last few hours of trade. But let me get on board Osho Krishan, who's the Chief Manager, Technical and Derivative Research, Angel One, who's joining us, and of course my colleague Rabinder, who's here from our research team joining us. Hi, good morning, good afternoon to both of you. Let's get going with all the stocks that are in focus today. First up is Cochin Shipyard that was trading with gains of almost 7%. As it has become the lowest bidder for the order order that's worth 5,000 crore rupees. It is the L1 bidder by the Ministry of Defence of construction for 5 next generation survey vessels for the Indian Navy, and the estimated value of this order, like I mentioned, is over 5,000 crores. And on the back of that, Cochin Shipyard is up and away 4.3% in trade. Well, let's talk about the next counter that is in focus, or rather Osho has picked out for us. Axis Bank. Osho, tell us on the chart. So how does Axis Bank look like?
Very good afternoon. Firstly, thank you for having me at the show. Well, Axis Bank is looking very positive on the technical front. It is having a cycle of higher highs, higher lows. And looking at the recent development, specifically in the last trading session, the counter has seen a very strong pullback from the 20-day EMA. And I'm expecting from here onwards, looking at the overall momentum in the banking and financial space, Axis Bank can see strong momentum going forward. 1355, 1360 being the first hurdle for the counter, but once it breaches the zone of 1360 on a decisive manner, then from here onwards we can see 1400 levels on immediate basis, followed by 1440 from positional point of view. So from here onwards, one can look for buying opportunity in Axis Bank as for immediate targets of 1400, followed by 1440 from short-term point of view.
All right, so that's the word coming in as far as Axis Bank is concerned. But let's talk about Indalco that's trading down 1.6%. In fact, the entire metal basket is on the back foot today. Rabinder, there is a note that has downgraded Indalco. Tell us, what does that note say?
Well, as Hindalco is under pressure on the back of negative brokerage note, where Intrade Equities has come out with a note and they have downgraded stock to reduce from add and cut target price to rupees 631 as compared to earlier target price rupees 785. They say that the high aluminum prices are not favorable for the Indian operations, and aluminum rallies appears largely macroeconomics driven by expectation of a weak US dollar rather than tight fundamentals. And Intrades also say that the aluminum price may fall approximately 20% as the macro support weakens and scrap supply improves, and this will negatively impact Indian operation of the Hindalco industry. And Intrades say that the higher capex will lead to a leveraging of the balance sheet, and Hindalco is undertaking a massive capex program of 70,000 crore over FY26 to 28, and they say that the EBITDA to decline 26,000 crore in FY28 as compared to the current as compared to 36,300 in FY26. So back of this negative brokerage, Indalco is under pressure and the stock is down approximately 2%.
All right, on the back of that downgrade by Incred, Indalco is in focus, trading with cuts of more than 1.5%. But let's talk about a stock that's doing well, and that's Texmaco. That's up 6% as it has received an order worth 219 crore rupees. The company has received This order from Mumbai Rail Vikas Corporation for design, supply, installation, testing and commissioning of signalling equipment in connection with the construction of a proposed railway line in Mumbai suburban area under the MUTP 111A. And on the back of this big order win, Texmaco Rail is up in a way 5.5% in the trading session. But Osho, coming to you, CG Power is what you have picked out for us. Tell us what you see in the charts for CG Power.
See, overall, there has been very strong momentum in the counter, specifically in the last 3 weeks. And after that, the counter has been hovering above the 200-day exponential moving average. So positive developments are there on the technical front. And I'm expecting once it reaches the zone of 695 to 700, that is the first or intermediate resistance for the counter. Then from there onwards, we can see decisive upsurge in this stock. Nearly 745 to 750 will be the next potential target that one can expect in CG Power. And looking at risk reward, this is looking very lucrative at current levels. 665 to 670 is expected to provide very strong cushioning. So any dip towards 670 should be seen as buying opportunity. First target should be 700, and if it breaches 700, then 740-45 will be the next potential target in this counter.
All right, moving on to the next counter. Ravinder, you've picked out Ola Electric that continues to reel under pressure, especially after its Q3 numbers. Tell us why is Ola Electric in focus today?
Well, as Ola Electric is continuing to be under pressure on the back of weak result. Remember that during the weekend, company announced a result which was below the street estimate, and after that, brokerages has started downgraded the stock. Today, Citi has come out with a note and they have downgraded the stock to sell and cut target price rupees 27 as compared to earlier target price rupees 55. They said that the EV penetration is more sluggish than expected, and Ola has lost market share due to service issue, high competition and adverse customer perception. And in Q3 FY26, results were below the estimate due to negative operation leverage. Remember that yesterday MK has also come out with a note and they have downgraded a stock to sell from buy and cut target price rupees 20 as compared to earlier target price rupees 50. So back of the weak set of number and brokerages downgrade, stock is under pressure. Now stock is down 83% from the record high.
All right, so that's Ola Electric on the back of those brokerage notes. But with that, it's time for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we're getting you more buses on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're tuned into Market Fatafat. And Osho, you picked out Bank of India for us now. Tell us on the charts, how does Bank of India look like and what levels to watch out for?
See, overall, the PSU banks overall is looking very positive, and specifically Bank of India in last 2 trading sessions, the counter has seen a very strong momentum from the zone of nearly 160. The counter is now trading around the zone of 170, and looking at the recent breakout in this counter, the price extension depicts 178 as the next potential target, and even after that the counter looks positive. But as of now, from a short-term point of view and looking at the recent traction the counter is into, 178 can be seen as the immediate target in this counter. And again, we need to review that whether the room on the higher end still persists for the counter or not. But overall, the technical setup is very positive and one can look for accumulation in this counter.
All right, on that note, Osho, thank you so much for taking the time out and giving us your picks on the technicals. But let's move on to the India AI Impact Summit. Jason Oxman, President and CEO of ITI, has